How many dentists are struggling to attract and retain quality team members for their dental practices? And how many of those dentists have seriously reconsidered how or whether a job at their practice looks appealing to the people who'd make great employees? Money's a big thing, but it's not everything. It's easy to lay much of the responsibility for this situation on inflation and an era of economic uncertainty, of course. However, there's a separate component too, an inability or unwillingness to reconsider how well your practice treats its team members. The first question that inspired this column came from a young dentist who wondered what she would be looking for and looking out for when interviewing for an associate position. A big theme in my answer is that how long have other employees worked at the practice is a good indicator of how well owners treat their team members. Is it a practice where nobody lasts more than 2 years before moving on? Or is it a place where the new girl just hit her 7-year anniversary? Many of the employees who stuck around for decades at Today's Dental mentioned how their previous jobs demanded that employees be in the office every day by 7:30 or 8, which made dropping off their children at school a nightmare. Sometimes it stung even more when team members were held to that standard, but the owner dentist regularly sailed in half hour later after dropping their own kids off at school. Apparently, their families' lives were important, but they wouldn't extend the same respect to their team members. How rigid is your staff scheduling? It's the same with phone calls. The doctor's spouse could call doc several times a day, but the staff aren't allowed to take a personal phone call. Last I heard, it was the golden rule. Treat other people like you want to be treated, not whoever has all the gold makes all the rules. Your great team deserves great respect. The second question that inspired this column came from a practice owner who asked how to attract and retain team members. The biggest takeaway from my answer there was give your employees respect and a long leash. For a long time, we've operated under the premise that jobs at our dental practice were plum gigs. After all, they offer regular hours, mostly on weekdays, but when employees refuse to bend those regular hours to accommodate the realities of an employee's outside life, she'll look elsewhere for a position that can. And nowadays, a lot of other jobs offer the opportunity to work remotely or at least flexible hours. The typical practice isn't attracting candidates based on salary either. According to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average office or administrative support position is paid more than a dental assistant, while the average call center employee earns a higher salary than the average dental front desk employee, and often gets to work from home too. So when practice logistics and financial restraints make it impossible for most dentists to pull ahead in the hiring competition, what's left? Respect and recognition are huge. And yet, in their post on Dentaltown message boards, some dentists clearly regard their team members as easily interchangeable and replaceable pawns. I'm betting they transmit that same attitude in person too. Meanwhile, my long-term dental assistant, Jan, was so important to me, we joked that if she called in sick, I would too, because I couldn't face the prospect of doing a day's worth of dentistry with a temp who'd never set foot in the practice before. We worked together for 30 years because she knew I respected and appreciated her. It's important to know your employees would say the same thing about you, because the best candidates interviewing at your practice are definitely asking about it. You've got to make it a priority in your practice. Herb Kelleher, the founder of Southwest Airlines, said, "We hire on attitude and train for skill." His philosophy helped create a strong company culture focused on customer service and teamwork. I hope you have a rocking great day. If you like this Howard Speaks, please remember to like, share, and reply in the comments. Have a rocking great day.